Hi, Mickey here. Go by Mick to some. But I've been called Mickey all my life. Two. One little story behind that right quick before we get into today's is I think I was 3 days old in the hospital, come home, and my real name is James Michael Haynes. And my sister, who was 3 at the time, said, what you going to name it? And my parents said, we're going to call him Michael. And she said, it looks like a Mickey to me. So from 3 days old, I've been a Mickey. So it's worked very well for me. This is our first vlog, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tell some life stories. I have a lot, and who knows where I'll ramble to, but behind the scenes is my beautiful love, Rhea, and so she's putting all this together. So bear with us. First, I want to do a shout out to all the people at Wait Med. Very special people to me, and hope you're all staying safe. And anyway, so as you can see, I'm a very emotional person, and if it happens, it happens, but that's what these vlogs are. They're real, and they're meant to be. So today, I just want to explain one thing before I read this poem that I wrote about this particular story about me and a friend of mine. I've never done or used or experienced heroin, but it is have to do about that and drugs in general. And in other vlogs we'll talk about addiction a little farther and some of the struggles that I went through and things that I have overcome and have stayed that way sober. So heroin and drug addiction is a very evil presence in the world still today. But this particular story happened when I was a very young person, 19 years old, and with another friend of mine. And what happened was I died, and I came back, and with the, I think it's divine intervention or supernatural or whatever you want to call it, brought me back. And I think that one particular person aided that, was a go-between and aided me to be able to come back and live and do what God had put me here to do. So this, I'm sure there'll be questions, and you can comment down below and have questions. I'll be glad to answer them later on. But this particular poem that I wrote about this story, the title is Thank You for Lighting My Way. There we go. Driving up the driveway, figured no one was at home, but after getting closer, I could see the one light on. Getting out of the car, I drove, went slowly up the steps, carefully walked across the porch. So dark it was out there. Thought I heard a noise from somewhere in the back. It sounded like my friend I'd come to see. Tapping very softly on the door, so not to scare him. He was kind of paranoid that way. Thought I heard him say, "Come in," so I opened up the door. Stepped into the living room to go. Coming from the back room, I could see a little light. Just enough for me to navigate. "Steve," I said. "I'm back here, man," he yelled as I stepped forward, waiting for my eyes adjusting still. Watched the match go out as he laid the spoon aside. I just want to stop right there for just a second. This and others that I'll read to you in other vlogs get very close to home. So if I get emotional and I have to stop, just bear with me. That's why. But it's that real. It's still as real to me today as it was then. And for all you do know me, you know how I am. So don't hold it against me and think anything negative. It's just the way it is. But I watched him, the match go out, where he was holding it underneath a spoon, and where it was liquefying the heroin to where he could put it in a syringe and shoot it in his vein. And I may stop now and then and explain a few things to you. Anyway, So I watched the match go out, and he laid the spoon aside. Watched the fluid shoot from the syringe, so you shoot just a little bit to clear any kind of air bubbles or whatever out, or trash. Anyway, I watched the match go out, and he laid the spoon aside. He had already filled the syringe with the heroin. And I saw him put it in his arm. And I watched the fluid shoot from the syringe as he backed it up a little and pushed it into his skin. I tried to tell him wait, but not in time. I saw he pushed a needle underneath his skin, briefly drawing back there in the plunger, all turned red. Only for an instant, pushed it in. Screaming is the next thing that was ringing in my ears. Watching there as I saw his vein turn black. Falling on his side in pain, saw him throw it across the room. Knowing what he'd done, he could not hide. Shooting boiling liquid in your veins is agony. Only sick men do this when they're blind. Made slave of some, evil flower never dies. Needing, craving, have to have makes them feel like normal in their minds. Stephen made that choice, had made it often days and years. Now he had forgotten in his mind. If only I had been there just another time before, to blow it cool and help him to the floor. Let his normal sink inside and lock out the world again. Screaming, he is screaming. Help me, loud he cries. Get me to my granny's. Help me up. I think I'm dying. Reaching down, I lifted him and got him to his feet. Grabbed him up, again did lift. Cradled in my arms, we went outside. Wasn't a very big fellow, thank goodness. Air was crisp that night, was thinking. Surely that would help him clear his head. All that he could mutter was, take me to my granny's quick. Opened up the car door with my foot. Sat him down and strapped him in. I closed the door behind him. Quickly throwing into gear, I spun the tires wildly, kicking up dirt high into the night. Tears were flowing from us both as he barked out directions. 1 hour and 10 minutes we did drive. Pulling in the path, we drove back for a mile. Stopping at the porch, I saw her standing in the doorway. Even from that distance, I felt her stare. As soon as I got out, she said, I knew that we were coming. Bring in Stevie Boy and lay him down. Coming through the door, all I could smell were the freshest flowers, but I saw no flowers within sight. Laid him on the bed there to the left where we'd entered. It felt as though she talked to me with thought. No lips were moving, telling me to step now to her right. She was all of 4 foot nothing, hair as white as snow, kept up in a bun seemed long enough to touch the floor, stretching her hands overhead, then brought them down again, placed them together as if praying. Looking at the ceiling, rubbed palms hard and fast, speeding up then, starting one more time. All that I could hear her say was, thank you, Lord Master. Then in one swift movement, she rubbed across his arm, up one time and down, repeated 5 times up and back, I think did count. Then she cupped her hands together as if holding something wished to hide, and then opened them and blew into the night. Like she blew like magic or something. In shock, I thought I was dreaming. Stevie started laughing with delight. Then in disbelief, I saw before my eyes what once was black was now renewed to life. Then he stood like nothing happened. Hugging her, she said, "Now leave." She said that she still loved him, still, but saw her disappointment. But down the stairs, he bounded out of the light. Hope I can make it read through this next part. Going towards the door, I felt like running. Felt a soft hand grab me tight. Had me by the wrist. Thought my breath would leave me. Felt like it. Heard her say these words. I'll never forget. Because I was a hellion. I was a hellion. Never met this woman in my lifetime. Straighten up, young man. Big things are waiting. One day gifts you have, you'll realize. Take what you have seen here. Hold it to you. One day you'll know what it's all about. Patience is the hardest thing you'll conquer. Women at your beck and call you'll have. Just remember, careful in your choosing. Beauty's only skin deep. Hear me now. Heart is where the beauty lays, my boy. Okay, go. I'll be talking to you. I remember in my mind thinking, when? When was she going to be, ever seen this woman? When am I going to be coming back over here again? Bye, I said. I'll take our Stevie home. As I walked, I felt the heat from holding still on my wrist. Wrist felt like it was on fire inside. Once again, I smelled the flowers around me. Turned to look, but house was dark as night. Driving, back her words to me repeating. Stevie chattering wild to my right. He was a chatterbox anyway. Knowing what he'd do when we arrived there, thanking me, he left me sitting silent. Quietest night I think I have ever heard. Felt like I'd just come from some bad movie, but starring in it seemed like someone else. Had I really seen and heard what happened? Had to be. Had been gone for quite some time. Stevie acted like it was just nothing. He's probably inside killing more brain cells. 3 weeks passed. I drove down to the corner. It was 3 weeks later. Heard there was some MDA that I could score. MDA was it's like ecstasy today, except it doesn't have as much amphetamine quality in it as MA does, which is ecstasy. And this was made out of mostly mescaline. Some guy who said, I bought it. I bought a gram of it, which is about this much in the bag, or in the baggie. Found some guy who said, it's some good shit. Took a taste, the bitterness was there. So I drove back home and went into my bedroom. I orally digested, I don't know, took enough for probably 2 people, I guess. I always felt like I had to do more than everybody else. Walked around the room for about some minutes. Went to the kitchen for a spell, which was about 45 minutes, almost an hour. Wait a minute, something's wrong here. Not the usual MDA I've done. Feels like 1,000 pounds there, standing on my chest all at one time. I literally thought I was having a heart attack. Better go lay down and take it easy. It will all pass soon enough, I'm sure. This is not the first big buzz I've grooved on. You know me, always doing more than all the rest. Whew. This shit is overwhelming. Must have not been cut like that guy said. Okay, I'll just lie down for the rest of the minute. Didn't get up and... Wait just a minute now. I know the light is on. Either that or dark, it got real quick. Am I still laying in my bedroom? I don't know. I just cannot tell. Wait, don't panic yet. Just wait, listen. I don't hear a thing, nor can I see. One thing's sure, I still have all my emotions. So this is truly scaring the hell out of me. Oh my God, I think I'm dead or dying. Eternity, trapped in total darkness. No sound, no sight, no nothing but my thoughts. Trying to scream. I hear it. No, that's just in my mind. God, will you please help me? Where are you? How long have I been here? Seems like minutes, or does it seem like an eternity? I can tell how lonely I'm becoming. Is this all there is? No, this cannot be. Help me, once I tried again yelling. Sound is non-existence in this void. Just my endless thoughts to keep me company. Absence of such things like love and joy. I must be in purgatory. I'm Baptist. I remember thinking this just as clearly because I remember thinking, seeing the Catholics, somehow they were right about purgatory. Wait, I am Baptist. Where the hell am I? This just ain't right. Was I so bad that I deserve abandon? Seems to me that this is what hell's like. And I get all these emotions because that's what I was having at the same time, except times 2. Total loss of love and feeling, lack of any caring soul for me. Wait, I think I see a light there waiting. Just a pinprick, but still I think it's light. And that little piece of light stuck out like you would not believe. There's no way for me to really get you to understand how bright that little piece of light was. A pinprick. Over here I'm trying to scream for nothing. Nothing coming out as try I might. I think I'm crying, but no tears I'm feeling. Oh my God. Closer comes the light. Is it God or Jesus coming for me? Hurry, hurry, take me. From this place. I'm too weak to fight if it's the devil. Please let me see. Come closer, I try and say. Yes, I see it moving. It's getting closer. Light my way. Then it stops. There. Not too far from me. 50 to 100 feet, I'd say. Then a voice within the light speaks to me. Not sure what it says. I strain. Talk a little louder, I start thinking. Yelling surely hasn't come my way. Then it hits me clearly as you see me. Whew, it's going to be hard to read all this, but I'll give my best shot. It is Granny's voice. She's saying, not your time yet, son. Go to your mother. You have still got much to do, to say. Lend a helping hand when you're needed. Listen with your heart, and please be kind. Hold the hand if one is stretched out to you. Speak your mind, but do it in God's light. Gifts from God to you are yours in time. Use them wisely, never being haughty. knowing He's the one that put them there. Now go back and do your best in living and try to let your love shine for people there. I will see you one day when time's over. We will laugh and joke of this one day. See you soon now, Michael. I'll be praying. Make me proud until you come back here again. Suddenly, it was like I'd taken my first breath from birth. Drawing it in deeply for the first time, opening my eyes, sunlight was streaming, blinding from it, still could not move or feel. Then a nurse came to me with a smile. Just try and rest. You have some friends here, darling. Looking up, I saw old Stevie there. Girlfriend Darla was with him. Thought they'd made quite the cute pair. Talking as I tried, it hurt so badly. Stevie said that there had been a tube there. The nurse said talking now would not be easy, but try and rest and let your friends talk now. Told me that they loved me and how scared that they had been. Said I wasn't supposed to be alive. Hadn't had much chance of pulling this one out. That's what they told me. 3 weeks had gone by with me like this. Said he had another thing to tell me. As tears streamed down his face, I knew it must be bad. Said that Granny had passed away on some 13 days now. Then it all came rushing quickly in. Granny had been there with me to guide me on my way. I shared it then when we could talk again. We all cried many tears, tears of joy, my friends. Love's the reason we're here. And angels are within. Trust me. Me and Stevie turned out fine. Him and Granny are together again. Only one thing I want to say. Is thank you, Granny, for lighting my way. So, never a time that I read this or think about it that it doesn't touch me somehow. Have I lived up to it or heard advice perfectly? Heck no. But I'm not afraid to share my experiences. Definitely not afraid to show my emotions. Or my nose running on film. But I hope it touched you somewhere down the line, and not all of my poetry is this emotional, but I wanted to start with this one today and lead us in the right direction. It's where we want to go. Next time I promise to have a haircut, a little better, maybe I won't be crying. But it's touched my soul when it happened. It still touches it today, exactly the same way. And you're lucky I could even hold it together that well, because there have been times I had to have other people read it. It just, not only can I feel the experience, but I can feel Granny. And I know she's still here, and she's still around, and she still visits, and she still kicks me in the butt sometimes. Nobody's perfect. But drug addiction is an evil, evil thing. hesitate to reach out to somebody if you need help, ever. Don't wait until something like this happens. You may not get a second chance to come back and make it right. You may not have a granny, or somebody else's granny, or even my granny. So I hope in some way that this has touched you, you've enjoyed it somehow, and you hopefully will look forward to my next vlog. Maybe a little bit happier note, but to me this is one of the most happiest times because I got a second chance. Alright, once again, shout out to Wake Med. Stay safe. Much love. Peace. Hello? Mick or Mickey or James, whatever you want to call me. This is our first vlog cut. Can't have audio bouncing in. You have to stop. Stop just a second, will you? Because this is